which part of I'm not going to celebrate Christmas do each and every one of you fools not understand? I'm not celebrating Christmas. It's not up for debate. It is not up for discussion. If you fools out there unwilling to grow and evolve and age gracefully want to celebrate it, by all means you crack right on. But leave me out of this pagan tradition. Because that's all it is. It's a pagan tradition. It spiritually and psychologically stunts people into living childlike. And I'm not having it at all. I'm not having it. So you can stay salty even, you can project your narcissism, you can do whatever you want at the end of the day. It's still not going to change my mind into giving you what you want. And this goes to family included. If you want to celebrate Christmas, by all means, crack on. But you're not going to drag me into your bullshit, I'm telling you now. You're not going to drag me into believing the same pagan tradition that each and every one of you worship. Why? Well, as I've mentioned previously, that the pagan tradition, Christmas, is nothing more than a season that worships and idolizes false gods and false idols. It sways people from the faith. And it intentionally draws people away from God. And I'm not having it. You might want a relationship where you just want to live childlike all your life, then that's entirely your free will. I'm not going to take that away from any of you. But it's not the free will I want. And if that's what you're trying to mold me into becoming, then I'll just keep cutting you off like the cancers you are. It's as simple as that. You're not my children. You're not my children. I don't care who you are, family included. You're not my children. If you were, you'd have no problem giving up the need or the want to celebrate a pagan tradition that you know deep down within your own hearts and your own consciences is actually, in fact, satanic. You would have no problem whatsoever. You sure as hell wouldn't have a problem in crucifying the need or want to celebrate any ritual, for that matter, that keeps each and every one of you living like children. You're not my children. Real children, like I said, would follow the gospel and the gospel only. They would apply it to their life and study it as though their hearts, their consciences, and their soul/spirit depend on it. Because I'm telling you now, all of that, it truly does. There is a judgment day, whether people want to believe it or not. And you will be made to stand before God to give an account of your lives, only to hear the words, "Depart from me, for I never knew you." Because you were living like two-faced, hypocritical, backstabbing, lying bums. You're living in fantasy land, every one of you, I'm telling you now. And you're not going to drag me in the same fantasy. I don't care who you are. I'll repeatedly expose it time and time and time and time and time again, thus ultimately shattering the illusions that you think you have, thus ultimately leading to your lives accounting for nothing once it's all said and done. That is your punishment and that is your consequence. Real people, like I said, wouldn't have a problem in crucifying the need or want to celebrate or even partake within rituals that keep them trapped and enslaved into living childlike. You would have no problem whatsoever in crucifying these needs, these urges, these wants. But I don't see that in the vast majority today. Oh, my life is my life. I can do whatever I want. Crack right on. Crack right on. But don't come knocking on my door, or better yet, don't stop me and approach me on the streets when you're getting your ass handed to you by the devil, and you want me to bail you out of your own nonsense. Because I'm telling you now, I'm not bailing any of you out. I'm leaving you in the doghouse where you belong, to reap the same pain, the same suffering that you tried inflicting upon me. That is your punishment, and that is your consequence. Because I am sick and tired of these fools. You will never, and I mean never, find God nor Christ within these ritual practices that you partake within. It's just not going to happen. God / Christ are pure. They are not of this world, nor the satanic rituals that brainwash and condition people into partaking within. Every time a person partakes within a ritual, you're not only doing a disservice onto yourselves, rather you are leading yourselves further and further and further away from having a relationship with God, with Christ. This world's got it twisted. They think, well, I can live however way I want. I can live life by my own rules and claim to know God. You're delusional. You're a narcissist. I don't care who you are. And I don't care who this royally pisses off by getting it out there. People need to know the truth. You're a narcissist. You're living in fantasy land. And you will never find God nor Christ within your own delusions. As a matter of fact, it's God Himself that are allowing your delusions to consume each and every one of you as a form of punishment and consequence for worshipping false gods along with idols. It's a wrap.